with all due respect, you are not supposed to fix your salary or your allowances, but you decide to pay yourself the allowances that you give yourself, newspaper allowances, pound allowances, cheating allowances. You give yourself all sorts of things with all due respect.
I want you to pay attention to everything our former president Olusegun Obasanjo said in this press conference that is shaking the whole of Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large. Pay serious attention to it. You see, Obasanjo is one man that is worth listening to. Just pay attention to everything he has to say. Please do me a favor, share this on all social media platforms, share with your friends and loved ones. God bless you as you do so. Watch this video.
We came this morning, first of all, to express our solidarity with you. Like we do most of the times, we always stop by to greet and learn from your fountain of strong knowledge on development and good governance. And we came this morning also, and we'll start by thanking you for the wonderful things you have done for Nigeria. And we can't thank you enough, because every day is always before us that if not the foundation you laid in 1999, things could have even been worse today. And at that time when you were doing it, most people did not see the future today. But we can see the gains of those reforms in telecommunication that have brought so much digital transformation in Nigeria today and created a lot of sustainable jobs. What you have done with the electricity reform is what is even giving us a little light we have today. And what you have done with civil service reform, what you did with anti-corruption fights that created the agencies that came on board to help in the fight, foreign policies, and so on and so forth. And your vision about self-sufficiency include refining. Imagine if today those refineries that you privatize were working almost like 15, 18 years ago. Today we will not have pressure on FS. We will not have the PMS supply challenges today. So you saw the future and you work towards building that future. So any reasonable Nigerian will always say, thank you for what you did. And if possible, come to you to learn how we are able to carry those reforms. So we can be able to learn from those things you did in 1999, which if they have been consolidated by successive government in the past, today will not be in these economic challenges that is facing us. So we'll start by saying thank you for what you have done for our country, and also to let you know that these lawmakers here today are passionate and have confidence that Nigeria can still work. And that is why most of us here today are co-sponsors in the bill for political restructuring. We strongly believe that a stable political atmosphere will help our country to grow forward. And that's why we have a proposal for a single-term presidency of 6 years, and for power to rotate between North and South, and for all elections in the country to hold in one single day. The reason is that the electoral system has been bastardized over the years. If we can have one election in one day, the bandwagon effect and the insecurity that is associated with the election will not happen, because there will be massive participation, there will be large turnout of people. And you know that with the election in one day, once the accreditation is used to announce the State House of Assembly result, it can no longer change even when you get to presidential. So we believe that in the midst of all this uncertainty, that we can, rejig some of these laws, all elections in one day, and a single term of 6 years, and power to rotate between North and South. This is driven by the reason that the instability that goes with the political process is part of the reason why we're also in this mess, and other restructurings that we're proposing. But we're here today to learn from you. We are here today to interact with you. We're here today to tell you that we're all proud of what you have done. And as young Nigerians who are desirous of a stronger, united, and sustainable Nigeria, and at this time of economic uncertainty and crisis, maybe there'll be one or two things that we all can share, even in the proposed amendment we want to do, and other ways to go about it that can help us to achieve the Nigerian of our dream. So it's more of interaction, it's more of commendation, and more of informing you so that in the House of Representatives, we are committed, especially some of us that are here today, that Nigeria can still work, and that we can learn from those who have tried it and have made impact. And that is why we're here to appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
In line with what my colleague had said, this rotation of power between North and South, we are thinking if it can be inculcated in the Constitution Amendment too, so that power could be rotated within the 3 senatorial districts of each state. Take my state, for example, Kogi State, sir. If not by divine intervention, I am from Kogi Central, the Igbira people. It's only one axis that would have been having it. As I'm talking to you now, the western axis, the Yoruba-speaking part, has not had it. And we don't know whether it will get to their turn. The same thing is happening in Benue State. You know more than I do, sir. We're just pleading to you, the founding fathers, that if this can be looked into, it will down the agitations by several ethnic groups and the problem we are having. Let it be made compulsory that power should rotate within the 3 senatorial districts of each state. Some states are already doing it, but in some places, it's the larger ethnic groups that always want to do it, and it doesn't mean well for this country, sir. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank God also for what He has enabled us to do, and thank those who work with me, because whatever I might have had in mind, what objective I might have set, if not those people who worked closely with me and who supported and who made it happen, joining hands together, we will not have achieved what we have achieved. What I would say is that, well, when we were there, we did our best. But like you rightly said, how I wish that the foundation we made, they continue to build on it, even if not as fast. But what seemed to have happened is that some of the blocks we had put in place have been removed. Sadly, I would say. But what I know about Nigeria, and that is the consolation, and for you and for me, what I know about Nigeria is that if we get it right, the leadership, the team, because one tree does not make a forest. You need a good leader, but you also need the team to work with the leader. And if you get the leadership and the team right, the point is that in a space of 2.5 years, we will put the past behind us. In another 10 years, the firm foundation and the edifice on which we can build will be set. And in one generation of about 25 years, we are there, we are gone. But what we have been doing in the past is we take 2 steps forward, 1 step aside, and probably 2 or 3 steps back. And that won't get us anywhere. So, you see, for me, it's not so much the system, except that we have to rethink what we call democracy, the Western liberal democracy, where they talk of loyal opposition. In African system, what we do is we sit down and we get consensus. We get commonality. And after we have done that, there's no opposition, there's no opposition. Everybody comes to and we move together. Because in that case, we are not, the word for opposition in almost all African languages that I have looked into is enemy. then what do you do with enemy? Loyal enemy? Nothing like that. Now, and that is what we do. Once you take it, yes, it is yours. The winner takes all. The opposition goes into the wilderness. Is it not right? Because you have to have and join hands together. You don't go into my village and say, look, this is the government, this is the opposition. We run the village together. You can sit down and argue and talk about things and debate and discuss. And when then we move together as a village, as a community. Maybe that's part of what we have to look at. You know, the issue for me, if we get it right, whether you have one term of 6 years, 2 terms of 4 years, or 2 terms of 5 years, where we need to work is our mentality. We have to decarbonize our brain. Brothers, look, if you give him one term of 6 years, he can do the same harm that he will do in 2 terms of 4 years. He will. The only thing is that, well, he will do what he will do over the period of 6 years. Whereas over the period of 4 years, if he's not doing well and the system is working, you have an INEC you can trust, you have a system that you can trust, then he will do 4 years and he's not doing well, you vote him out. The point is that, can you vote him out? Our experience has shown that once it's in, you may not be able to vote him out. So we are now looking at, okay, maybe he comes in and do 6 years, you won't have to vote him out or vote him in. But then the harm that can be done in 6 years, I will say I am open to whatever you come up with. But that, to me, is not our main problem. Our main problem is ourselves. And until we take care of ourselves, it doesn't matter. We may have 1 term of 4 years, 1 term of 6 years, 1 term of 7 years. If it's the same people and the same mentality and the same way we do things, it won't change. So our beginning is ourselves, to my mind. Yes, system, yes, democracy. We have to rethink democracy. We have to rethink the form of government. What is the character of the people that are in government? With all due respect, most of them should be behind the bar. And that is the truth. Most of them should be behind the bar. Some should even be in the gallows. Now, if these are the people that are ruling us, then what do you expect? It doesn't matter whether you make whatever you make it will not. So the point is that the character of the people that are coming to government, their attributes, the sort of people, who are they? In my own part of the world, even when you want to give a daughter for marriage, you say, hey, look at the background. What is the pedigree? And that is one thing we really need to think about. How do we select leaders? What should be the character of the leaders we select? What should be their track record? What should be, where should we find them? Are they role models? And I think that's what we should, what is the first thing we have to think about. Because it doesn't matter whether you make it 1 term of 6 years, 2 terms of 5 years, 2 terms of 4 years, 2 terms of 3 years, the same people, the same way of doing things, we aren't going to get out of it. So maybe if we look at what should be the criteria for picking and way of doing it, we have, for instance, something in our constitution called federal character.
Wait, before I continue watching, please do me a favor, like the video right now and drop a comment. By doing this, it triggers the YouTube algorithm to continue to recommend this video to more people. God bless you as you do so. Keep watching.
As federal character pointed out or taken up any government in this country that, look, what you have put together is not federal character enough? Have they done? And then have we got federal character in all the cases that we have had? And yet we have a federal character commission which is constitutional. So, what are we talking about? Look at, in your own case, with all due respect, you are not supposed to fix your salary or your allowances. It's supposed to be done by the revenue mobilization and what?
Fiscal commission. Fiscal commission. Revenue mobilization and fiscal commission.
Okay. But you decide to pay yourself the allowances that you give yourself, newspaper allowances, pound allowances, sheeting allowances, to give yourself all sorts of things, with all due respect. And you know it's not right. It is not right. It is not right for me to be the one to determine what I pay myself. It's immoral. And then you are doing it. The Senate is doing it. And you beat your chest. And in some cases, even the executive give you what you are not entitled to. You all got 200 million naira. When we were talking about the suffering of the people who put you there, on top of the obscene salary and allowances you give yourself, you got 200 million naira. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not good for this country. So this is the thing we have to do. How do we ask people to suffer? And those people who are suffering, please bear with us when you are not showing any sacrifice. And I'm not showing any sacrifice. You are what you are. I am what I am because I'm a Nigerian. Those people out there are Nigerians. They are entitled. So let us look at things that way. For me, that is what we have to do. And as I've said, and I will keep saying it, we are all sitting on a keg of gunpowder, all of us. if we continue to do what we are doing, which is disregarding the interest of the common man, disregarding the interest of the common man. Yes, we want to bring somebody from another. The point we made, we here in Ogun State, between the central and the east, is where they have been getting government. We've ignored the west. And the truth is that by population, unless the central and the east yield ground to the west, they will never make it. But for me, what is important is good governance. And we agree that yes, let it go round. And if he doesn't perform, remove him. But there are many states, a few other states like that. Kogi is one. Benue is one. Borno.
Yes.
Borno is like that too.
Yes.
Yeah. Where unless there is a yielding of opportunity. I tried here with the late Oluni that look, he comes from the world. We didn't make it. I don't know whether putting it in our constitution that look, there will be north-south rotation. What I had hoped was that we will put it by convention rather than by, so that if we see a situation where it is palpably right, but once we did that, and some people thought that not the way to go. But what matters to me is ourselves. Because even if you do that, if you put it there, when Maru Yaradua died, there was move, which is unconstitutional move, that Jonathan will not, who was vice president, and by our constitution, there was move in some quarters that Jonathan should not take over. Why? So I will be with you first, that we will rethink, re-examine Western liberal democracy. That's number one. Two, look, what should be the criteria for bringing people into leadership position, whether at the executive level or at the legislative level, or even at the judiciary level, or any other public, because the civil servants are part and parcel of this exercise. And they can be good civil servants and really serve civilly and conscientiously. They can also be evil servants if they choose to be so. So we need general moral rearmament. General moral rearmament, to look at ourselves and say, yes, we are all wrong, and where we are wrong. Then we need to do things differently. We cannot continue to do things the same way that has not worked for us and say, and then if we do that, we are deceiving ourselves. But let us look at things. What must we do differently at the executive level, at the legislative level, at the judicial level, at the civil service level, even at the private sector level? Because we are all in the same boat. And if that boat sinks, we all sink together. But whatever you come with, if we are able to take care of, yes, democracy, let our democracy have African context and African content. Because Western liberal democracy began from monarchy, there can be loyal opposition to the monarchy. In our own case, because we have the only thing we can be loyal to is our country, which is in principle, as some people will say. So, not a loyal opposition, but a partnership opposition that will partner with the government, see things together, debate, dialogue, and come to consensus and move on. One of the things that is ridiculous about this country is that the new government comes in and they say, for the first time ever, as if Nigeria has never existed. For the first time ever, this has been done. You talk about the refinery in your opening remark. I went, when I was president, I went and called Shell. I said, Shell, look, come and help us. Run the refinery. Take part. You can take 10%, you can take 20%, but come on. They say no. I said, okay, all right. If you don't want to take equity, come and run it for me. They say no. So they left. I then called their head one-on-one. Sit down with me. Why do you turn down? They gave me 5 issues. One, they said, our refineries are small. I think Port Harcourt is 60,000 barrels a day. And I think that's Port Harcourt. Kaduna is maybe 100. I think Warri is the largest, I think, maybe 120. And they said to me then that, look, refinery is about 250,000 barrels a day. So our refinery is 2. They said, look, even we will run our refineries as a service, but we make sure that we do not run it at a loss. But we make substantial part of our profit in the upstream. So, the refinery, if you run it well, you will break even and make a small profit. But if you don't run it well, you will run it at a loss. 3, they say our refinery, the way we have managed it, the way we have serviced it, is not the way that refinery should be serviced. So they don't want to get involved in that. 4, they said to me, the corruption around the refinery, they did not want to get involved. When they told me all that, I was completely numb. And then some Nigerians got together. They paid 750 million. And God has sent this one. My successor said, he turned it back. I ran to him and I said, look, you know this is not right. He said, well, NNPC said they can do it. I said, NNPC cannot do it. NNPC, I think you are investigating $1.5 billion that NNPC has spent on refineries since then, and the refineries will not work. But I told my successor that the refineries, from what I have heard and know, will not work. And when you want to sell it, you will not get anybody to buy it for $200 million as scrap. And that is the situation we are in. So why do we do this type of thing to ourselves? NNPC knew that they cannot, but they knew that they can eat and carry on with the corruption that was going on in NNPC. And when people were there they put pressure. In a civilized society, those people should be in jail. Why do we do this to ourselves? And that is NNPC. Take anything. National Shipping Line, the story of it. Nigeria Airways, the story of it. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why? Look, in 1979, I think almost all those people who worked with me in the Ministry of Agriculture, maybe they're all gone. They went out in July 1979 and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture came with the report that year we would be self-sufficient in rice. If not 1979, by 1980, what they have seen in the field. We ban importation of rice. When our successor came, led by Alhaji Shim Shakari, they lifted because the party leaders said they want to import rice. They lifted. I tell you the story of one of the importers. He got import license. He ordered rice to be imported from America. And the one who told me this story was the Nigerian ambassador in New York. Because the man who imported the rice is from his town. When he has done the importation, everything has been done, he asked them to add $5 million on top, which they did. The supplier did. Then they were afraid. They said, look, we may not get our money because he said, add, you get your money. So they did. After they have done it and the money has been paid, he went to America to get his own share. He was expecting $2.5 million. They gave him $1 million. And he went to report to this ambassador, who then called these people. And the ambassador said, we will not tolerate anybody cheating a Nigerian and all that. The supplier then said, hey, Mr. Pastor, you don't understand what you are saying. Look, this is what happened. The order was made. We made the order. Prince was a prince. Prince asked us to add $5 million. We took a risk, and we did. We never thought we would get the money. We got the money, and then he came, he wanted 50%. No, he didn't take any risk. We took all the risk. We gave him $1 million. That is your country. And your leader. And your people. Why do we do that to ourselves? For money. And you can multiply this. You can go on. So we have to decarbonize our brain. We have to wash ourselves clean of the dirt. And then we have to look at the system, as you rightly said. And I believe the beginning should be what type of democracy we have. I believe our democracy, yes, it must be democracy. Look for a name for it. I've called it Afro-democracy. Let it have sufficient content, sufficient context of our own way of life. If you went to my village 50 years ago and you said government wants to do something in my village, and you want a man who will take the money, will be treasurer, and you point at a man that is light-fingered, my people in the village will not say, don't take the man because he's light-fingered. They will say, oh, you want to take John? No, John's far is far. When we need him, he will be at we call it Okwegon. That's far. But take David. David's farm is nearby. That's what they will tell you. They will say to you. But today, it won't happen that way because John will buy everybody. It won't happen. And if that today, John will buy everybody. And that is what we have. So let us look at these. What can we do? I have watched growing up at a native court, say, Kanga. They've taken you before the court that you have stolen. And then the judge said, Ikenga, which Ikenga are you? The Ikenga of this compound. Who is your father there? My father was the cocoa producer. They said, oh, that's your father, and that's your compound. In that family, they don't steal. Discharged and acquitted. Now, what that does for you, one, it makes you feel that, oh, even if you have been stealing, you have to stop stealing. Because your name, your family, your pedigree, where is that today? Even when the man is stealing, they will say, now he alone go steal, leave him. So we have a lot to do. For me, I will again thank you for coming. I believe what you are doing is very important. We should never stop looking at our system, but let us look at ourselves. We have to reposition ourselves. And the harm that we are doing to ourselves in Nigeria, we are not doing to Nigeria alone. We are doing to West Africa. We are doing to Africa. And we are doing to the black race all over the world. Because God doesn't make a mistake. We have the largest concentration of black people in the world in this small land area called Nigeria. And if the black man will make it, it has to be Nigeria leading the black man from making it. To the extent that we are not making it, we are disappointing ourselves. We are disappointing our region of West Africa. We are disappointing our continent of Africa. And we are disappointing the black man everywhere in the world. They look up to us. If God has put the largest concentration of black men here, God expects something better than what we are doing. So I'm all with you, but let us to go about it the right way. The right way meaning let us look at ourselves. It can't go on the way it's going on. And the youth, whatever we may say to them or do to them, what they are demanding is what is the word that is legitimate. As I said, you are what you are today because you are a Nigerian. I am what I am today because I'm a Nigerian. So why should they be Nigerian and be languishing in poverty? Why? And then they make demand for that. And we are not listening to them. They make demand for that. And we are treating it with levity. We are sitting on the keg of gunpowder. They are frustrated, they are desperate, they are angry, they are hungry, they are unemployed, they are in abject poverty. What do we expect? Those boys and girls that have tried to go over the Sahara and go over the Mediterranean, they had 3 hurdles to cross. The Sahara, the ill treatment in the Mediterranean country on this side, whether it's like Algeria, or Libya or wherever, they go through hell. Then the Mediterranean. Then when they landed on the other side, some of them came here. I listened to them and I was weeping. Now, why should they go through that? Because what you and I have not given them the attention that they deserve. And that's it. So I am here with you, and I will be here with you, but let us get it right, and let us do it right. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you have read everything our former President Olusegun Obasanjo have said concerning our country, the politician, and everything happening in Nigeria. I will not be able to dive and talk about everything he said. I will just share my opinion about this, and I want you also to share your thoughts about everything he has said in the comment section. The comment section is for you. Use it. Use the comment section. And also, if you would like to come live with us on this channel, because we are planning to be coming live to discuss certain things happening in the church and in Nigeria, you can use the number in the description of this video to send me a WhatsApp message so that we can arrange for us to come live and discuss certain things happening in our country, Nigeria. Because you see, this country, Nigeria, a lot is happening, a lot is going on in the country, but that's not why we are here. Let's just focus on what our former president have said. You see, I will always say it with all due respect to our former president Olusegun Obasanjo. Yes, he did well, but you see, they are the people that started everything happening in Nigeria. That's to be honest. I'm not saying that he's not a good man. I'm not saying that he was not a good president. I'm just saying that they are the one that, you see, they say that everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything we are seeing today, they started it. They gave the room for everything that is happening in Nigeria. I remember one interview I watched, or was it an article I read, where he was talking about how his former vice looted a lot of money, but because of certain reason, because it was his vice, he decided to cover his top and all the rest. Let me check if I will find that video. If I see it, I will post it here for you to listen to.
We got a letter from America in June 2006 listing a number of people to be investigated. Atiku was one of them. Atiku was one of them. That letter went straight to EFCC. It was just shown to me because they will not be able to investigate my number 2 without my saying, okay, if we get this letter from America, so be it. If we have agreement with FBI, we have with Metropolitan Police, and they are helping us and we are helping them, and they write to us and say, hey, these are the list of people we want you to help us investigate. What do you think we should do? At one time when you now say, and I could not, in good conscience, ask my number 2 to be investigated. This was in my first term. It's either I talk to him, which I did, or when there's a second opportunity, I put him aside. But the Americans wrote and asked, among others, that he should be investigated, and that we cannot rule out. So no. At that time, politically, I needed to carry him along. But then to put him in jail. I don't know what EFCC had found out about him. But I don't know whether he can go to America now. Do you know? I'm asking you, do you know?
I know he travels.
To where? He travels to where? To Dubai? I was investigated. And that's what I told you. I was investigated. I said, carry out clinical. And they did it. Now, all the people on my farm and all that, they went to them. One of them was telling me the other day that they called him 3 times. And they came to take a statement from me. And they even made sure that they did not submit that report to me. They waited until I left and updated their report after going around the world and saying, look, this is...
And
he asked a good question.
He did. We'll be here all night. Yeah.
No, he asked a good question, but he spoiled it at the end. I said, why not Atiku? What issue do you have with him?
That was Zainab Osman, yeah, okay.
Zainab,
yeah.
I have no personal issue with Atiku, but if I then, with what I know about Atiku, which you can read in my book.
Okay, read the book. Are you a member of his family?
With what I know about Atiku, If I have put article forward, God will not have forgiven me.
Okay.
You see, Nigeria is struggling, and Nigeria is struggling today not just because of what this present government have done, but because of what the past government did also, because of what even the Obasanjo government did. All this thing did not start from today. The era we are seeing today in Nigeria, whatever is happening in Nigeria today, did not start today. You know it. Everybody knows the truth. They caused all these things. They caused all this. It's just like a father who is smoking, who smokes, and when he gives birth and all the rest and raise children, he gets a son that is also smoking. You will not start saying that your son is misbehaving and all the rest. Let's say you as the father, you have stopped smoking and your son have inherited that smoking habit. You will not be insulting your son because maybe you have not repented and your son have started doing what you used to do. But you forget that you used to smoke, and everything. Probably your son that is smoking probably copied that smoking from you. He saw you smoking and felt that, okay, if my daddy can do it and nothing happened to him, then I can also do it. Because whatever you are doing in this world, you need to know that people are watching. People are learning from you, whether you know, you believe it or not, whether you see them or not. People are watching. There is always somebody out there looking at you, and that is why I always tell believers that your lifestyle can be the most important Bible some people will ever read before they die. Because how you live your life, how you go about your business during the day, how you do things entirely, it will always affect other people. Other people will always copy what you do one way or the other. So it is important, because don't rule out influence. Everybody is influential one way or the other. We have people that look up to us and people we look up to. So all these things that we are seeing today, it didn't start today. It started from the past. They built Obasanjo and the past leaders. They built a very wrong foundation. It's like that's what they did. But that is not ruling out everything he has said right now. Because I know one thing, the reason why I say somebody like him, it is important we listen to him, is because some of the things happening in Nigeria right now, no matter what you think about Obasanjo, no matter what you feel about him, he will not tolerate most of them. It's just like all this Buku Haram, Fulani Esme, all this one. I don't think that under Obasanjo's rule that these things will happen. I doubt. I'm in doubt that if Obasanjo was to be the president of this country now, at least, I'm not talking about any other thing. I'm saying that this one, bandit, this, bandit, that, I don't think he will tolerate it. I don't think he will. So that is a lot of things I see. This one is happening, that is happening. I don't think if Obasanjo was to be our president, I don't think those things will be happening. I don't think. That you be in power, you will not listen to your people, you will not even, I don't even understand these people at all. I don't understand them. During Obasanjo time, things was, even though people complain, that's why I always tell people, be careful of what you wish for. The devil you know is better than the angel you do not know. Good Lord Jonathan came here. They say he's a woman. His wife don't know how to speak English. How can we have a president like that? A president cannot talk. We removed that woman. That man you people say is a woman. That president you people said is a woman, and we brought a man. What did the man do to you people? Hey, he showed you now. You know this thing they say that men will stain your white. Buhari stained your white now. A lot of things are going on in this country that is not fair. A lot of things are going on in this country that is not fair and shouldn't be encouraged. I don't know why our politicians, they are head bent on punishing everybody in this country. Look at the amount of money they have borrowed. Look at the thing they are doing in this country. How long, when will all these things stop? When is all this thing going to end? Are we going to continue like this as a country, or will continue to live? No, they need to make changes. If I'm them, they should listen to everything Baba has said and try to see if they can copy or learn one or two things from him. But you know, now pride in Africa, pride in Nigeria, they will not even listen. They will not listen. But Nigerians are suffering. President Tinubu and his cabinet and his people, they need to do something about what is going on in this country. They need to fix Nigeria. Nigeria cannot continue like this. We cannot continue to live like this in Nigeria. How? A country like Nigeria, we don't have a working refinery, and somebody built a refinery, you will not allow the refinery to function. Look at different accusations coming from here and there. Look at. No, all this is bad though. We are just taking it lightly, but this is bad. This is bad. Sometimes we speak, some of us want to play politics with some of these things, but we should sometimes leave politics aside, leave tribe aside, leave religion aside, and face the truth. We must learn to speak the truth. Call a spade a spade. The problem with most of us is that we will see a spade, we call it shovel. We will see shovel, we call it ass. We will see ass, we call it hoe. We need to learn to call a spade, putting aside politics, tribe, and religion, because these three things, they are one of the things killing us in this country, killing Africa, not just Nigeria. Somebody will do something. When we talk, we say, oh, is it because it's not from your place? Is it because it's not from your place? If it's somebody from your place, we will talk. Or somebody, this person will do something. He say, oh, if it's a Muslim that did it, nobody will talk. This one say, oh, if it's a Christian that did it, nobody will talk. I don't get it. Gradually, our country not gradually, our country is dying. Our country is dying. Our politicians, our leaders, they need to sit up and do what they are supposed to do. They need to start doing the needful. They need to start doing the needful. The high level of corruption in this country is alarming. It's alarming. You go here, and I don't even want to talk about how greedy Nigerians are in marketing, in everything. And you look at it, it is because there is no system. There is no structure. There is no plan. Nothing. The country is just functioning like that. It's like anybody and everybody can do whatever it is they like in the country, and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. That is how come some people can live their life anyhow they like, do things anyhow they like. They wake up one morning and say, today I am increasing the price of this, I'm increasing the price of that. It is an error. It is bad. It is bad. I don't know why. How will I put it? I don't know why our leaders cannot just sit down and tell themselves the truth and make a decision that we are going to do the right thing. I will say it, and let me say it again. I've said it before in the past. We did not say you should not steal. Yes, because the reason why I'm saying we did not say they should not steal, because it is like stealing and corruption have entered their bone marrow. It has entered their body. So it is hard. It's like somebody that is a drug addict. It will be hard to tell this person, don't smoke, don't take drugs. We are not saying don't steal. But you see, if they give you money, like 100%, at least use 80. Okay, if 80 is too much, use 70% to develop the place, the country. Then you can steal 30. But this one, what they do, they will steal 80%, share 10%, and use 10% to be developing this country. Look at the amount of money they are borrowing in and out, year in, year out. Still, we don't have any world-class hospital in Nigeria. They keep traveling out to take treatment. They keep traveling out to take treatment. That hospital you are visiting every time outside the country, can't you build it here? Can't you build it and employ what class doctors and put them here? The way America and other countries, they have been recruiting our doctors, can't we also build and recruit doctors from other countries? Must we always go out there to beg these people for things? Can't we build our own world-class hospital here? The schools you are sending your children to, can't you build it here? We need to start asking ourselves questions. Can't they do with the money they borrow? You hear today, this person stole these billions of naira. This person stole billions of naira. This person millions of dollars. A lot of money have been. You see, the money these people have stolen, if they bring all, it's enough to clear our debt with China and some other countries. Imagine that to date, they are still recovering the money that Abacha stole. To date, they are still recovering that money. Is it not in this country that bullion van, according to them, mistakenly entered somebody's compound? Oh, Nigeria. When Idris sang Nigeria, jaga jaga, everything scatter scatter. These are some of the things that made him sing that song. African China came and said, our government bad though. True, they are bad. But the funny thing is that even for many years since they released that song, it has been how many years? Instead of things to be better, things are getting worse. Things are getting worse. These are politicians, they travel year in, year out, but it's like they don't learn anything from there. Because if I go outside, I see something I like and I have the capacity to do it, I'll build it here. You cannot be taking, imagine how much all these are politicians, they waste every year on healthcare, transportation, flying to other people's country to just go and take treatment. And it has never occurred to them to build a wall, even though you will not build a hospital for other people to access it. Okay, build a presidential hospital and equip it very well and bring in a good doctors so that you stop wasting that money. Instead of you be flying up and down, if you save cost on treatment, you also save flight ticket, money on your flight. You save money. Look at how many billion naira these people spend every year just on healthcare. Every time they are traveling, every time. Our former president Buhari, that is how he traveled. Almost every week Buhari is traveling to go take treatment. With our money, every year, every week, every month, you hardly see our president in this country. You hardly see him. It is bad though. I don't know what else to say, but what they are doing is not right. It can never be right. I don't think anybody with his or her right senses will support that thing they are doing. It's not right at all. Our leaders must rise up and do better. Our leaders must do better, because we cannot continue like this. People are dying, people are suffering, people are hungry, people are starving to death. I don't know I don't know if these people, they don't come out or they don't go on social media, they don't read news. Even I sometimes wonder, the newspaper allowance these people collect, what do they do with it? It's like they don't read that newspaper. If they read that newspaper, they will be hearing what Nigerians are saying. They will be at least trying to feel the pains of Nigerians. What is all this one? You will be in your country, no security, no good road, electricity. Let's not talk about that one, because that one is another matter on its own. You can talk about that one from now till tomorrow. Nigeria is like, we are not ashamed. We are like that kind of thing. Now you're an elderly one in the family, but you don't have shame. You'll be stealing from your younger one, taking from your younger one, disrespecting, like insulting yourself in front of that younger one, doing all manner of things, drinking and falling into the gutter. As an elderly person, that you need to respect yourself. Nigeria is like that elderly person that don't have respect for himself. They are not ashamed. We are not ashamed that countries like Ghana, go to even Benin and Togo, they have electricity. But if they manage to bring it now, okay, just take for instance, since last night we have low current. This one now they call it light. If they manage to bring it, if they try and give you the light for at least 5 hours, they have done enough. They will not give you again for like 3 days. Can't they leave the light stable? Can't they have shared prepaid meter? We have bought prepaid meter. Can't they allow us use the light and be buying the light? I thought the essence of this prepaid meter is so that they will keep the light stable, so that we'll be buying more. At least let's be buying and let's know that, okay, it is our light that is finishing. It is like that in Ghana. In Ghana, the way I stay, it's sometimes 1 week they will not take light. Sometimes 1 month they will not take light. And if they take light now, let's that is 4th. That is when that light will last. We stay. That is when we stay with that light for a while. If they take light now, it will not be long. They will bring it back. If there is any situation where we are not going to have light in Ghana, they will announce it. They will talk about it. If he heard that Ghana was about to protest or was protesting, it was because of light. Do you know why they are protesting? They are not used to not having light. There was one time when their former president John Mahama was in power, this thing started doom so, and all the rest. They started complaining and they went to protest. I asked somebody, why on they protest? They say, oh, now because of light, no light. I say, you call this thing no light? The light will go and will not come back for like 2 hours or 1 hour. And you say there is no light? I say, come to Nigeria. Sometimes a week you will not see light. 3 days you will not see light. I mean, I was shocked. I said, so there is this, so people live this type of life. I went to Ghana and when I saw light, I was worried to bring her. As I am right now, develop one kind of habit. My phone can be like, I can use my phone until it is like that can 10%. Sometimes it will even go off. But there will be light. Do you know why? Because I don't fear. I don't have that fear that, okay, my phone will go off. My phone, there will be no light to charge it. No. In Nigeria, immediately you see light, hey, you have left now go charge it before they take the light. Honestly, when I saw that in Ghana, I was shocked. I said, if you have not traveled, that's why they say travel is part of education. If I have not traveled now, I would never know that people in Africa are living that type of life. That they are living a life that light will not go. That if they take light for 2 hours, they have to go and protest and demonstrate. If I didn't travel, I would never know that. Nigeria will make you believe that this is all. If you travel, you know that this country, what is going on in the country is not easy. If you travel, you will see something. You know that nothing is happening here now. If you travel, you know that our politicians have been wicked to us. They have been wicked to us. So, what can we say and what can we not say and what can we not do and what can we do? You see, I don't even know what I'm talking about, what I'm saying. But you see, if you follow this country, BP may kill you. So that is why some of us, and that is why I tell people, if you are able to survive in this country, Nigeria, you'll be able to survive anywhere in the world. If you are able to survive in Nigeria, you will be able to survive anywhere in the world. Because there is nothing this country, Nigeria, will not show you. This country will show you something that you yourself, you don't know. This country will show you something that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. There is no type of life you are looking for that you will not find in this country. This country will construct and reconstruct you. This country will finish you. So if you are able to survive here, other countries, that's why our people, they go outside and they make it fast. Because what do you want to show us again? What? Somebody that have counted 99, what is 100? What do you want to show us? Nothing. There is nothing you can show us again. We have seen it all in this Nigeria. So nothing won't show us. Nothing this eye again go see rush blood. Now water. There is nothing you can show us again. We have seen it all. We have seen it all because this our country. It's like we are living like soldiers. You can't even sleep in Nigeria. Even this part of Nigeria, like Rivers State, they are even better. There are some part of Nigeria you cannot even sleep with your 2 eyes closed. If you hear even sound like knock, boom, run. Also, that is the way it is. In some places, they have banned knockout because they need to be able to differentiate the difference between knockout and the real gun. So it is that bad. It is that bad, but there's nothing you can say. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do well to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so whenever I post another video, you'll be notified. If you're a returning subscriber, I want to say thank you. Thank you for always stopping by to watch our video. We love and appreciate the support you give us on this channel. May God bless you. May God reward you in the name of Jesus. Please do me a favor, like this video right now and drop a comment. By doing this, it triggers the YouTube are going to continue to recommend this video to more people. God bless you as you do so. I will see you in the next one. You are blessed.
I have good news for you. You will win. It's been written.
I am what I am by the grace of God. As long as that grace does not fail, Satan will never fail.
This revival you see will not be aborted.